Hello everyone! Welcome to Rainbow Baby World YouTube channel. Let's start our today's story. Long, long ago, in the heart of the vast Sahara desert, where the sun painted the dunes gold by day and the stars scattered across the sky like diamonds by night, there lived a curious and brave young girl named Zara. Zara wasn't just any girl. She was a nomad, a child of the desert. Her home was a tent woven from goat hair, and her highway was the endless sea of sand. She traveled with her family, a caravan of gentle camels swaying rhythmically, their bells tinkling a soft, constant melody. Zara loved the desert more than anything. She loved the feel of the warm sand between her toes, and the sight of the horizon stretching out forever. But most of all, she loved listening. She listened to the stories her grandmother told by the crackling fire, tales of jinn and ancient kings. She listened to the soft padding of the camel's feet, and she listened to the wind. To Zara, the wind wasn't just air moving. It was a storyteller, carrying secrets and songs from faraway lands. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange, pink, and purple, something magical happened. The world grew quiet. The camels settled for the night, and a hush fell over the camp. Zara sat outside her tent, watching the first stars begin to appear. As she listened, she heard a new sound, a sound she had never heard before. It was a gentle, sifting whisper, like 1,000 tiny voices speaking at once, rising from the sand itself. The whisper tickled her ears, soft and inviting. "Zara," it seemed to sigh, "listen closely. Follow me. Follow the whispers to a secret oasis, a place of wonders hidden from the world." Zara's heart gave a little jump. An oasis? A secret one? Her eyes, as dark and deep as the desert night, widened with wonder and excitement. She knew, with a certainty that filled her whole being, that this was the beginning of an adventure. The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Zara made a decision. She approached her favorite camel, a young, gentle creature named Kyle. She whispered in his ear, sharing the secret of the sands. Kyle seemed to understand, nudging her hand with his soft nose. With a small bag of dates and a water skin, Zara set off, leaving her sleeping family a small note drawn in the sand. She wasn't running away. She was following a call. "Don't worry," she whispered to the wind. "I'll be back soon." She rode Kale through the golden dunes, which rose and fell like the waves of a great silent ocean. The sun climbed higher, but Zara wasn't afraid. She was listening. The whispering sands were her guide. Sometimes the whisper was a clear direction. This way, to the left of the great rock that looks like a sleeping giant. Other times, it was a soft swirl of sand at Kale's feet, a gentle swish, swish, showing her the path. Hours passed. The landscape changed from soft, rolling dunes to jagged rock formations. Just as Zara began to feel tired, the whispers grew stronger, more excited. "Closer now. Just beyond the next rise," she heard them sing. With a surge of energy, she urged Kale up one last towering dune, and then she saw it. It was more beautiful than anything she could have imagined. Nestled in a deep hollow was an oasis, but not just any oasis. This one glowed with an inner light. The palm trees weren't just green. Their fronds shimmered with shades of emerald and jade, and they seemed to hum with a gentle energy. In the center was a pool of water so crystal clear it reflected the sky like a perfect mirror. As Zara and Kyle cautiously made their way down into the oasis, they were not met with silence. A group of desert foxes, their tails like fluffy plumes, chittered a happy welcome. Birds with feathers of sapphire, ruby, and topaz fluttered down from the glowing palms, singing a melody of pure joy. Even a wise old scorpion, its shell gleaming like polished obsidian, clicked its pincers in a friendly greeting, its tail held low in a sign of peace. This place was magical, and it was welcoming her. Zara slid off Kyle's back, her feet sinking into soft, cool grass. The air was sweet, with the scent of unknown flowers. She ran to the crystal clear pool and dipped her hands in. The water was cool and refreshing, and as she splashed it on her face, she laughed. It felt like the water was laughing with her. The friendly animals gathered around. She shared her dates with the foxes, who nibbled them delicately. She listened as the glowing palm trees rustled their fronds, and it seemed they were telling her ancient tales of the desert's creation. While exploring, she heard a tiny, sad bleating sound. Tucked behind a large flowering bush was a little lost lamb, trembling with fear. Zara's heart went out to it. She scooped the little creature into her arms, humming a soft tune her mother used to sing to her. The whispers of the sand guided her once more, leading her to a small flock of sheep, grazing peacefully on the other side of the oasis. She returned the lamb to its mother, and the whole flock bleated their thanks. In that moment, Zara understood another lesson from the oasis. Kindness is its own reward. As night fell, the oasis became even more magical. The moon rose, huge and silver, and the stars seemed close enough to touch. The animals, Zara, and the little lamb she'd rescued, gathered around a crackling campfire that had sprung to life on its own. They didn't need instruments. The birds sang, the foxes chittered in rhythm, and the scorpion clicked a beat. Zara danced, her simple robes swirling around her as she spun under the moon. They sang songs of joy, of friendship, and of the magical desert. The whispers were all around her now, a chorus of voices teaching her their greatest secret. Listening with your heart brings the greatest adventures and the truest friends. As the first light of dawn painted the eastern sky, Zara knew it was time to return. It was hard to leave the magical oasis, but her heart was full. She hugged the foxes, waved goodbye to the birds, and gave the wise scorpion a respectful nod. The whispers followed her as she and Kale climbed out of the hollow. Remember what you have learned, they sighed. Carry the magic with you. When she arrived back at her family's camp, they were just waking up. They ran to her, full of worry and relief. Zara hugged them tightly and began to tell her story. She didn't just tell them about the glowing trees and the clear water. She told them about the friendly animals, about helping the lost lamb, and about the music they made under the moon. She shared the wisdom the sands had whispered. We must always listen, she said, her eyes shining, not just with our ears, but with our hearts. The world is always speaking to us. From that day on, something had changed. Zara's family, and soon her whole tribe, began to listen more closely to the world around them. And as they did, a miracle occurred. Wherever Zara walked, small colourful flowers bloomed in her footsteps, a permanent reminder of the magic she had found. The desert, once seen as empty, was now viewed as a place full of life, secrets, and wonder. The sands still whisper, and those who take the time to listen might just find an adventure of their very own. So, little ones, what whispers do you hear around you today? Maybe it's the wind in the trees, the song of a bird, or the patter of the rain. If you listen closely, you might find an adventure is waiting for you too. Thank you so much for joining our story today. If you enjoyed our trip to the Sahara, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more magical tales from around the world. We'll see you on the next adventure.